So this is it, huh?
This is it. I'm leaving.
So this is it, huh?
This is it. I'm leaving.
Before we get into that subject, let's talk about what Amber and myself have attempted to do here on the homestead this year. And for those of you that are just now tuning in or just now subscribing to the channel or just haven't been paying attention, we have attempted to produce 80% of all of our own food here on the homestead.
And it's been a very struggling year to try to accomplish that with temperatures and no rain. The heat has just been crazy. It's been a really hard year on gardeners.
106 to 108 degrees for almost 2 months straight.
It was a very challenging year, but
So we've attempted this year to produce 80% of all of our own food, to become self-sufficient, self-sustainable. We're even growing some food for our own food, like the chickens. And in doing so, I came up with the average person consumes somewhere between 3 to 5 pounds of food per day. And I left us on the high end of that scale for a couple of reasons. One, because we're a lot more active trying to produce our own food. Therefore, we're going to burn a lot more calories. We're going to eat more.
Plus, he's just an overachiever.
Yes. And for simple math, it's also easy. So I left us each at 5 pounds of food per person per day, which leaves us at 3,650 pounds for the year. 80% of that is going to be 2,920-ish pounds, I believe. And we wanted to do that on a scale that was reasonable. Obviously, we could go out and plant and grow 4,000 pounds of potatoes, but we're not eating potatoes every single meal for 365 days. So we wanted it reasonable, and I think we came up with, we've deciphered so far, we've had over 40 different varieties of plant that we've planted and grown.
Of some type of food that we have harvested and plan to use for our own nutrition here on the homestead. And it's a very good variety. It's a very good mix between lettuces and broccolis and cauliflowers and potatoes and carrots and corn, tomatoes.
Yeah, it's been a very very interesting path. Obviously we've done a garden. This is going to be going on our 8th year at the homestead now.
Yes.
And we've always done a garden, but this has just been a very good eye-opener to see exactly what we consume on a regular basis. It's been just an extreme amount of knowledge that we've entertained this year.
It has been very neat that we're documenting it. So years past, we would grow a lot of the same stuff, and some of it even on the same scale, but we were never weighing it and counting it and tracking it to the extent that we are this year. So it's been very eye-opening. I find it very informative, especially with my chickens and the eggs and how their numbers change when the temperature rises and when it gets cold and all of that. I have an egg book.
Amber's got a little egg book here, and every single day when she goes to collect eggs, not only does she weigh them and count them, but she documents them all to see where we're at on that scale for weight.
Right, and that's for the total for our food for the year. But I have found that even if we're not trying to document it for something like that, I will probably keep that egg book going forever. I think it's a really good way to judge the health of your flock.
Correct.
And if they're missing a nutrient or something, their egg production will slow down. And is there a problem? Did I go from getting 30 eggs a day to getting 12 eggs a day? What happened? And it's a very good, you can forget if you're just getting eggs every day, you're getting eggs every day. And if I have I
can tell you 393 eggs in June. Versus July. January was 268. So very drastic difference month to month.
Right.
And now you've got to watch on that. You may get some new chickens that aren't laying yet, and keep the actual number of laying hens in your flock in a good reasonable amount.
It's a really good form of animal husbandry, tracking something like this that we never did before, that I plan on doing, even if we're not trying to prove to ourselves that we can grow 80% of our own food. I like doing that for chicken flock health.
So we have a goal of 2,920 pounds. I had actually set a little bit higher goal than that from my own target I really wanted 4,000 pounds. That way I know that we would have achieved the 80% without a doubt. I did some calculations today on everything that we've recorded this far, and we're just a little bit over 2,500 pounds.
Which is super impressive.
Super impressive, yes. Now we've still got a couple of things, actually we've got a lot of things going for us. We've got the fall garden coming in, which which is I'm confident it's not going to be as productive as the spring garden was. But we got a lot of things, like we've still got our third batch of meat chickens this year, which we've had some hiccups with that.
We did. We had a little bit of hiccups with the meat chickens. They came in, and when I put them in the brooder box, and things happen on a homestead, and they had knocked over their water in the evening after I'd gone in there and checked them, cleaned them up, fed and watered, and made sure that they had everything they needed for the night. At some point, I either didn't have the water correctly or centered, or somehow they tipped it over and all the chickens got wet, and we lost quite a few chickens. Or I say quite a few. We lost more than I'm comfortable with.
Yep.
On stupidity on my part. And
but things happen. And I mean, it's a homestead, and you just got to be prepared and think about those things in the future.
And it is something that I will make damn sure never happens again. It's not that we will never lose another meat chicken at that stage. It's just, it's never going to happen because
of that.
Because of that particular reason. And that's part of this. It's learning, it's adapting, it's overcoming, it's learning from your mistakes. And this was a mistake that cost us some meat chickens, and I feel really bad about it.
But we still got the meat chickens, what's left of those. We've still got turkeys. Like once again, we've got the fall garden. We've got tomatoes coming back. For some odd reason, and this is going to be an oddity for all you vegetable gardeners out there, tell me how we were able to get 3 Brussels sprout plants through 3 months of 108 degrees Fahrenheit, and they are looking marvelous over there. They are flourishing, and I don't get that. Everything else died off. But if y'all can give me a reason as to why that is, go ahead and drop it down in the comments.
Considering this was our first year to grow Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, they did really good.
I don't know, and it's really, so we really have to figure out when we're going to cut off, because some of our fall crops will actually go into January or February in our growing zone. So where are we cutting off the growing?
I think, honestly, we're going to be close for, I'm going to call it sometime around Christmas. We're going to be really close to that. Obviously, our turkeys are going to get harvested in November, and that'll be our Thanksgiving and Christmas meals. We still have half of a hog coming in. We split a hog with another family every year, actually twice a year. So we're going to be really close to that. I don't know if we're going to achieve our goal yet, but I guess we're going to let y'all know if we do sometime late December. But in the meantime, why don't you go ahead and tell them why you're leaving me?
Before we go with that, I just want to say that even if we don't meet it, I am super impressed, and I call what we have done this year a success.
Okay, yeah, for sure. We've been successful with a lot of things. So we're going to go over more in detail on a different video with that. But go ahead and tell them why you're leaving me.
I'm not leaving him.
Yeah, she is.
I'm a volunteer at a local county fair as a photographer, and I have volunteered essentially for every day. So essentially for the next month, there'll be very limited time that I'm actually here at the homestead. I have volunteered my time to do that, and I feel like it is a very worthy cause.
Correct.
For the youth in the county, and it is a lot of what goes on a homestead. This is animals and everything that goes into a county fair, and my committee and I are documenting it all through photography. And because of that, I will not be here.
I want to stress a little more about that too. A lot of people go to county fairs for like the carnival and the snacks and the games, but truthfully, go look at the 4-H and the FFA kids with the animals that they've put into, just the effort that they've put into those animals. That's what it's really all about. That's where the fair started. Really, if you've got a local festival or a county fair of that nature, go support the kids. Get them just like we're trying to bring information to y'all. Get these kids, support them with what they're trying to learn, trying to become self-sufficient, self-sustainable on their own.
It is a lot of hard work that these young men and women are putting into it, and there's also a lot of information. Like the local county extension office has a whole activity area set up where you can see baby chicks hatching.
Yep.
And they'll have all kinds of different animals, and there'll be somebody there with information and local sources for those type animals and stuff like that. So it's just a really good thing. I enjoy doing it, but it does take me away from the homestead for a very long time, which is hard to balance because I have responsibilities here. And luckily, Brent is
I'll take care of it.
Patient enough with me and understanding enough that he's not going to be destitute. He has plenty of food here. He can cook.
I'm not worried about that part. The place might be a disaster when she gets
I was
back.
going to say, I'm going to have a lot of dishes when I get back. I just know it.
But so in the meantime, in the next few weeks, I plan on doing a couple of videos that I'm really curious. I want y'all's comments on. I'm planning on doing a video for, I don't want to say organic, but naturally grown food versus GMO versus how I think that the system's trying to get us to eat bugs. If y'all got any input on that, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. I'd really like to hear y'all's thought on that.
And I've been working my tail off in the kitchen, and I'm getting that ready, and hopefully before the end of the year I will be bringing you guys into the kitchen and we will have all kinds of fun in there.
Yep.
So that's kind of what's coming up.
In the meantime, guys, go ahead and as we always preach, become self-sufficient, self-sustainable. Get off the system, become ungovernable.
That's it.
My favorite words. I'm gonna see y'all next week. She won't.
I'll see y'all in a month.
We'll see y'all later.
Bye.